Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Doug, the wedding officiant. If it's Wednesday and I'm talking to you, we must be on engagement. Oh, wine delivery. Thank you very much. Don't don't tell my coach. Welcome to engagement, where we talk about things basically that tickle me. Right now, what tickles me, we're talking about wedding and wedding pros. Ladies and gentlemen, couples, lovers of all type, welcome to engagement. I get up on Wednesdays and I'm like, it's Wednesday. It's halfway through the week. It's hump day. It's get out of bed and go do a broadcast kind of day. And I just get excited. So it is Wednesday. And Wednesday sometimes means wine's day, treats day. Sometimes it's whatever you do to make your very best life. So welcome to engagement. And you've heard this before, but I'm going to say it again. People ask me all the time. So, Doug, you're a wedding celebrant, wedding officiant, and you have a channel on YouTube called Engagement. Is this strictly for people getting married? And I say, heck no. Engagement is about coming together. It's about having dialogue. It's having conversation. It's engaging in conversation, hence the name. And right now we happen to be talking to wedding pros. I happen to be a wedding pro. I happen to be a wedding officiant. And darn proud of it. Actually, I'm a celebrant, which is even, it is what it is. So we are in week 4 of season 4, week 4, episode 8, talking to wedding pros, people that I know that will give you the very best quality, bang for the buck, best experience, the most preferred wedding vendors around. So we have a lot to talk to today, so we're going to get right to it. Enough from Uncle Dougie. We're going to get right here talking to a very cool professional when it comes to weddings. We're talking about florals because, you got to walk down the aisle with something. And I've had people ask me this before. Doug, it's just, I just want to walk in. It's very, very small wedding. Do I need to carry flowers? I say, yes, something. You need to carry something in your hands. You're going to feel awkward. People always say, where do I put my hands? What do I do with them? So traditionally, we'd wrap them around flowers. So I'm really excited to introduce a great new florist in Liz Nauta from Myrtle's Flower Market. And she does some fantastic floral arrangements. So let's see if Liz is here. Liz?
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. I see you're surrounded by flowers. You must be in your workshop.
Yes, and this is a good week for this because it's bridal show week, so I have lots of stuff getting ready for that for Saturday.
Perfect. This is also a great venue for those that aren't going to the bridal show that want to learn, a little more intimate details from home, COVID-friendly, sitting on your couch or watching from your computer, and you want to meet some pros. So we're really happy to have you here. You are a florist. You are a very talented florist. Are you going to be making something for us tonight?
Yes, I'm all set up to make a bridal bouquet here, which I'll start in a little bit, and hopefully have it done by the time we're finished.
Well, how long does it take to make a bridal bouquet?
Actually, making it doesn't take very long. It's all the prep work that's a little bit longer. All the greens have to be prepared ahead of time. It's not nearly as fast as a regular hand-tied bouquet, so the prep is actually a little bit longer than the making itself.
But let's not kid anyone. You've done this for a long time.
Yes.
You make it look easy. You make it fast. So I have some great photos I want to show the people of your work because I think you're a very talented florist.
Oh, thank you.
This one here, gorgeous bouquet, very rustic, very wild, very, very natural. I love that. I'm assuming that was the bride's bouquet.
Yes, a family known for gardening, and really the bride wanted it to feel like a garden. A handful
Nice.
from the garden, and I did actually go into my own garden and pick hostas and hydrangeas and just put it up. Yeah.
It's always important to get to tell your florist what you like, what you're accustomed to. And you may not know the name of the flower. You might know, I like that. Not everyone knows what Lysianthus is or Alstomeria. They might say, I know, I like that. So here's some more of that. This is a gorgeous, baby rose and big rose, and I see freesia in here, and I see some eucalyptus and some greens. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, really kind of classic and simple. That was a winter wedding. Actually, that one was just a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I have found that through COVID, there have been a lot of small, almost
Mm-hmm.
last minute weddings.
Girl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
There
then
has been.
yeah,
And that doesn't negate you from having a bouquet just because I've done a ton of weddings on, backyards, front porches, beaches, and barns. So you still want to have something. You want to have something that you can remember it by, whether you dry it or whether you throw it or whether you keep it for a while or whether you have it recreated as your weekly flower bouquet for your counter, or your table, which is a great thing to do. You want something, and whether it's small or large, you still should. But let's not forget the guys. The guys need to have something to adorn themselves, so people know this is a special occasion, whether it's the dad of the bride or the groom himself or the groomsmen. So boutonnieres, always very important.
yeah, and especially with the bigger weddings, it's helpful with boutonnieres and corsages to kind of denote who's who at a big wedding. You can't always
Uh-huh.
tell if you're maybe a friend of the bride or groom, you don't necessarily recognize who everyone. So, um,
Exactly.
yeah,
Grandma, granny might want something.
right, grandparents.
Yep. And another beautiful peonies,
Yes,
roses.
that was a June wedding, which is really the perfect month if you like peonies. You can get local Ontario grown peonies, and they're just stunning.
Without the ant, of course.
Yes, without the ants. Yeah.
No ant. Yeah. So how did you get to this point? How did you get here? How did Myrtle's flower? And by the way, Myrtle, one of my favorite names, my nana, who was very close to me, her name was Myrtle. So it's also a flower that grows crazy in some people's backyards. But how
Yes.
did you how did you go about it?
Well, we're originally from the Niagara region. My husband and I are both in horticulture, and I worked for a flower shop in the Niagara region, and I ran the wedding department for quite a long time, probably 13 or 14 years. And then my husband had an opportunity out this way, so we came here. We've been here about 5 years, and I've kind of slowly been building this business. And I mostly sell hand-tied bouquets and small arrangements at the Glass House.
Mhm.
And I've been trying to build up a wedding business. It was a little tricky during COVID because a lot of things were kind of canceled or postponed. So we're kind of gearing up now, hopefully for a bit of a boost this season.
So, as florists go, we have some very talented florists in Chatham, Kent, yourself included. You're sort of the new kid on the block, right? So
Yeah.
you have um, all that, with all the great ideas that are flowing through your mind and the energy you want to put out there and get your name out there. So it's a great opportunity if you're looking for a florist. And there's more weddings this year than ever before. It's going to be a crazy wedding season. Someone who knows the industry, knows what you want, and knows what's cool right now, or classic too. Classic is still in style.
Yes.
Liz is probably the person to talk to. So I want to show one more of your arrangements. This is outside because let's not forget, yes, your floral budget might be XYZ, and that's going to cover your boutonnieres, flowers that you carry. But you have other flower needs, whether it's adorning the outside or running down the table or dressing up the area you get your ceremonies in. This is a really great picture of beautiful greens and flowers, a little burst of color, and this is something that you do as well.
Yes, and it's a good way to make the most of your flower budget by designing things that can be either side of the ceremony and then either side of the head table, or there's ways to use things for each portion of your day so that you're kind of getting the most bang for your buck.
And you should think about that. What can be reused? Something at the front of the service can be used at the front of the front table or at the entrance.
Right.
And you just need a little bit of class or splash to be cohesive throughout, and they should be, I think, in my opinion, cohesive so that it looks like it belongs throughout the day.
Right.
And you can counsel people on that. So if they want to talk to you about what they're looking for in their flower, their dreams of their flowers and what they want to carry, whether they want to add if it's a hand-tied bouquet with like a picture of dad who passed away, or a piece of jewelry that was given to them by a grandparent or whatever. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, you can certainly work in lots of things. As a matter of fact, I was just looking at a photo today of a bouquet I did many years ago, and the bride, her father had passed away, and we used roses that she brought out on the internet that were actually tiny baseballs, and we worked those into the bouquet. But you can really do a lot of things with flowers that, in memory, or just things that you love. And as with any industry, the most important thing is to just book with people that you trust, and let them do what they know.
Exactly. That was one of our tips from a few weeks ago that Lisa Lester from the Armory suggested. Is it get to know your vendors, trust them. They know what they're doing, and
Yes.
let them do what they do best, and that's great. I'm going to go on to the next guest, but you're going to start making a bouquet for us. We're going to check back in, and we'll hopefully see you midway and then all the way.
Okay, sounds good.
Right? So hang in there. I'm going to go on to the next one right here. So the next person we want to talk to, I wanted to bring some wedding cred to the to tonight that would give you some ideas, because it is about finding the place. It is about finding a photographer. It is about booking your officiant, because if you don't, it's a wedding themed party, not a wedding. But those other things that people forget. One of those things is having a gift. Now, I know a lot of weddings maybe even ask for you to bring paper that folds inside of a card. That's called cash. Or they might still appreciate the good old wrapped gift that they get to open the next day, and someone writes down what it is and all that. And in order to get what you want, so you're not getting maybe duplicates or things you're not interested in, you should go to a wedding registry and tell them where you're registered. And that's old school. I don't know. I still think it's good. So today I've included Mary Lynn. Mary Lynn is about to become the new owner of what used to be called the Barrypatch Collectible, now going to be called the Barrypatch Boutique. And I'm very excited to have Mary Lynn in. She just flew in to see us just for this. Mary Lynn, how are you?
I am great. Can you see me and hear me fine, Doug?
We can see you. We can hear you. You're
right.
standing in what's about to become your new
store. Yeah,
your new store. Welcome. How's it feel? It's exciting.
Thanks for having me too.
Happy to have you. Are you feeling excited that you're about to embark on this new chapter?
Extremely.
Tell us how this happened. This is exciting.
Well, as you know, Doug, I was in education for close to 40 years, actually, and loved every minute of my work. But this has always been home decor, in particular, has always been sort of a side hobby that I play around with at home. And in the back of my head, I've always thought this is what I would do if I wasn't in education. And I sat home for about 3 months of retirement, and then started thinking about, okay, what am I going to do? And because I'm not going to sit home and play on my iPad all day, or read books, which I can and am happy to do at time. But I was doing it at a very regular sort of pace when I was retired for those 3 months. So I got a hold of Barb just as an off chance to see if Barb was maybe ever going to be interested in selling the store. And sure enough, I triggered something, and she wasn't looking to sell it, but because I came forward and asked, she was ready, and she's going to retire. And
time
going to
everything. So yeah. So for those that may not know, Mary Lynn was a school teacher and a principal, and she may have taught your children. She taught both of mine. She survived mine, so she's got to be good.
Yours were easy to survive, Doug.
I don't know about that. So Barrypatch, I want to show a picture of a sweet friend of mine who this is Barb.
Yes, Barb.
Yep, she is going to be handing over the Barrypatch to you and handing over the reins to you. And I adore Barb. She's so much fun, and she's such a sweetie. And we've done a lot of shows together, her and I, at wedding shows and such. And it's a great opportunity for you to, go in that direction and enjoy, being an entrepreneur and, get to show off your flair. So welcome. Welcome to the entrepreneur world.
Yeah.
I stopped in. I got some shots of some things that I thought were somewhat interesting. Now, with a bit of a disclaimer, I mean, you're a new owner. You might not carry all of these. You might you might pivot. We love that word, pivot, in a different direction. So here's what I saw the other day when I was in there, and I'm, because I cook. This, of course, the flavored oils are always very popular with a lot of home chefs. But have you ever heard of Ina Garden?
Who, me?
Yeah.
What
She's the Barefoot Contessa on TV on the Food Network. I live on the Food Network. No?
Sorry.
You'd love her. I'm sure that if Ina and I ever meet, and I hope she's watching today. If she is, Ina, hit me up. She believes in having everything like white, and I agree with her. We are on the same page with that. If you have all of your serving dishes and your pedestals and your serviceware in white, you can't go wrong. Your food looks great. It all matches in some way, and I love this. So I took a picture of it.
Yes. This is our, I don't know the names as well as Barb.
Well, I know the name. It's called Gorgeous is what it's called.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just call it Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's classic. It's going to last a long time.
Yeah. And
I also love this. We have this at our home, and I use it a lot, and it's French glassware. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a bumblebee or a fly, it's heavy duty. It feels good in your hand. Whether you're drinking Chardonnay or champagne,
and not easily knocked over, right?
Not easily. In my house, that's a plus. I won't mention any names, but my wife has broken a few of my glasses. But knock on wood, not those. So, speaking of bees, these.
Oh, we have a whole little section of bee things for sure. So
very, very popular right now. Sort of the bee craze is a big thing. Mm-hmm. The craze that won't go away. Thank you very much, Oprah Winfrey. And if Oprah's watching, hit me up because I think we could be friends.
I want to be friends with Oprah too.
Get in line. So the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I'm working on the 3 degrees of Oprah Winfrey. We had an entrepreneur on here who originally from Chatham, Kent, who has been in her magazine and met her. And she makes these fleecy balls that go in your dryer and these wool pull toys and for your pets. And she's met Oprah, and I know her and I know her sister. So I'm like, I'm getting closer. So Oprah, I'm on my way. But Oprah really set this craze on fire. I'm talking probably more than a decade ago, and it's still going strong. Is the Moscow Mule Mug. I mean, you gotta have a mule mug. It's just, I mean, if I show up at your house and you don't have one, I'm probably going to have to leave.
Oh,
no.
So everyone needs one.
Everyone needs one. Yes.
In case Doug is going to show up.
In case Doug shows up. So,
yes.
I'm going to come right back to you. I want to just check in with Liz. Liz has got this arrangement going here, like crazy, like gangbusters.
Working on it.
Look at that.
There we go.
Are you at the halfway point, or are you almost done?
I'm just about done.
And we've only been a few minutes.
Yeah, I did all the prep work already, so I just have to assemble.
What's in there? I see some white roses.
There's ranunculus, lysianthus, rice flower, which is cool one here. You probably can't see it very well.
I just like saying ranunculus.
Wrong way. Yeah, it's great season for ranunculus right now.
Yeah, it's a great word to say too.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I'll let you keep on keeping. We're going to go back to Mary Lynn for a minute. Mary Lynn, so other things that may appeal to brides and grooms if they're having their bachelorette or a party, or I guess we could go back to stag and does now that people are,
let's hope.
Kind of, yeah.
Yep.
Would be, of course, the glasses that say bride and groom. I've got a couple here for the actual maybe wedding day or the pre-party, that the flasks for the grooms and best mans, the pretty little wine glasses for the couple. all kinds of really cool things can be found at Barrypatch Boutique. And um, tell us, a bit about. Are you planning to keep on doing the bride and groom and catering to that clientele?
Absolutely. We will for sure have bridal registries continue. The store will look a little bit different, and we'll keep some of the things that Barb has been really well known for, like pottery, which is a huge favorite for people to buy as gifts for brides and grooms as well. So, yeah.
So I wanted to have someone in that was doing giftware that had a registry because, sometimes everyone thinks they have the best great idea, or maybe there's a fad right now that, you don't need 3 toasters. You need 1 toaster. So having a gift registry gives them the opportunity to come in, you know, find out what they like. You can get a flair or a flavor of what the bride and groom or couple want, and then you can purchase it, or you can go out and seek others if you wanted to. But having that registry is really important to sort of get a pulse of that couple. So, do you want to talk a little bit about how that works for you guys?
Well, I think typically brides come in with someone. This is what I know so far. Remember, I haven't opened the store yet, so I'm new at all of this. But I have Barb's walked me through it a little bit. So the bride and whoever she is with, maybe mom, maybe a maid of honor, maybe just a good friend,
maybe the groom.
Maybe the groom. My groom did. My husband came with me.
I did. I took my wife.
You took your wife,
shopping.
yeah. So, and we'll walk through the store. I'll point things out, and then the bride can choose, and we make a list for her. And then when people come in, they will come in and ask what's on so-and-so's list. So, and then I have that in front of me, and can show them what exactly we have in the store that the bride or groom or both have chosen.
It's really not complicated.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy.
Very uncomplicated, actually.
You
just
come
really
in
to show up. That's it.
Show up.
Yep.
Point out what you like. They'll write it down.
Yeah. Exactly.
Tell your friends where to show up to find that said list, and away you go. A couple more things I want to show here that are very much wedding related. This one here with the bride and groom, the no stem glasses, which are very hard to knock over. I'm using one tonight with my, we'll call that juice. Grapes are juice, right? So it's harder to knock over, and it's a lot, and they're very fashionable too, because you can use them for anything. You use it for soda water, you can use it for whatever you want. So it's a great thing to have. And here's another group of them. And you also have these, I know for a fact, because I bought them there, you have them in a high resin plastic for events. So although we're talking weddings are events, take the word wedding out. If it's corporate event or a backyard event or whatever the event is, if you want the plastic pull safe, stemless glasses that are dishwasher safe, come into the shop and check them out, because they're very cool. Speaking of cool and awesome, you'll know you're at the right place when you show up to the boutique, because it says, "Come in, we're awesome."
Yes, it does.
It does. So yeah, excellent. I'm gonna check in with Liz and see how we're doing on this.
Right. I think she's done.
Yep.
How's it looking?
Done. I didn't trim it. Close enough.
Trim, carry, and away you go. Do you recommend that brides spritz it before I know you do before it goes out, but
it depends what it is, but I would say it shouldn't be necessary.
Okay. Everything you do is very super fresh and the latest right off the vine and right out of the truck. So
yeah, that's the plan.
That's awesome. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna let you finish that one up, and I'm gonna welcome in our next guest. So those that know me know that I know my way around the kitchen. I bake, I cook, and all of that. I like the sweets. So you got to have a cake at your wedding. So I reached out to someone I know quite well who does some fantastic cake work, and I've got Nina from Sweet Treats by Nina here to come in. Nina, you still can't hear you, girl. Uh-oh. Let me tell you a little about what Nina while she works on her technical. The funny thing is, Nina has an IT rep at home. So, Nina has some great sweets. She's been doing this from home for quite a while. And so today, actually not more than 2 hours ago, I stopped by, and this is what she handed over to me. A box looking like this with cupcakes and sweet treats. Oh, do we have you? I hear noise. And a box that looked like this. Freshly glazed donuts. So fresh that I basically touched them and they just melted in my mouth.
Is it working
I can hear you now. There we go.
We're having problems with my AirPods. They're not working, so I have to take them off. So if it echoes, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. You're good. You're very good. You're perfect. So you've been baking for a while.
Yes.
Tell us how this happened, how you got into the sweet treats world.
I was a stay-at-home mom. I am a stay-at-home mom and needed something to occupy my time. So I was baking for friends and family, and this kind of blew up on me. So
I, from time to time, like to sample things. I am a big fan of the sweet tooth, and please don't tell my trainer because she'll kick my butt. But in the box that you had for me today, there is cupcakes. Now, cupcakes are a really important thing for weddings because a lot of couples are having a cake and cupcakes, right? So they like this. Now, this is a kid's. This one here. This is sort of a sample. This is, again, it could be any event. Substitute kids party for a wedding party. You have a cake and you have themed cupcakes to go with it. Correct?
Yes.
Great idea. That way it's a take and go. Whether you want to take home, the bride and groom might want to take home the cake itself and enjoy or freeze. Do people do that, for the first anniversary?
Yeah. And it's a lot of people can take it, and it's COVID friendly. So you don't need to, you literally can just grab it and go eat it wherever, right? So absolutely. So I poked through your social and found one of my favorite things, which is, of course, Viva Las Vegas. So I love the twist on the, Fabulous 60 and great themes. If you look at Sweet Treats by Nina, you'll find all kinds of incredible cakes, but wedding in particular, here we have a phenomenal wedding cake with orchids and roses and all kinds of flowers that I can't even pronounce. Gorgeous, followed by this beautiful cake that is very, very simple, very, very elegant. I know that wedding cakes are a pain in the butt, I'm being nice, but they're still essential. I mean, people still want to have a wedding cake. So tell us about how you handle wedding cakes and what you do and delivery, all those kind of important things. It comes down a lot to budget because most places or facilities that you have a wedding at, you have cutting and plating fees, or you have to supply your own dishware. So it's more than just buying the physical cake itself, which can also be, depending on how crazy detailed you want it, or if it's fresh flowers, or if it's on trend and it's covered in gold leaf. Prices can get astronomical with wedding cakes. And I think that's why they're so tricky, is because you can have so many ideas and narrowing it down is really tough. Absolutely. So in the box that you provided for me, there is a yellow and a pink cupcake. Tell me what they are. So the one that looks kind of the yellowish, the hydrangea, is a freshly squeezed lemon juice and lemon zested cupcake.
Huh?
The pink flower is just your plain vanilla with vanilla icing.
All right. So I'm going to try first the go plain Jane. And
my
I know
favorite,
for a
so-
fact there is really great crumb here. It's soft and I normally do I cut because, TV bites. Normally I would take the bottom off of this as sort of the trait of a good cupcake and put it on top, and then you have a cupcake sandwich. So I'm going to try this. Now I'm assuming this was made today.
It was, yeah.
It's like a little bit of heaven. The icing is perfect. It's not too sweet. It's I've always said, because I do a lot of dinner parties, and I always say I could put out the worst dinner, not that I would, and have the best dessert, and all they'll talk about is dessert. So I think weddings are probably very similar. I'm going to try the lemon, because now my mother would be all over this because she's a huge lemon fan, and yellow is her favorite color. Oh my God.
So that one has cream cheese frosting.
The lemon hit me as it arrived in my mouth. That is excellent. That is really excellent. And I'm sorry you guys don't have samples. Very, very good. Excellent.
Thank you.
Now depending on where you're from, whether you're French or not, the macaron or the macaroon, whatever you want to call it.
No, it's not a macaroon. Macaroon. No, macaroon.
I call them macaron.
It's a macaron. Whether you want to say macaron or macaron, it doesn't matter. A macaroon is coconut and condensed milk. It's totally different.
Yeah. So to make a macaron is much more work to have that flat top, flat bottom, because it's two pieces put together, so there's no little dimple. You provided me with two, and I usually, one of my favorite places to buy these pre-COVID was actually in Toronto at the flagship store of Loblaws in the old Maple Leaf Garden. The white one is what?
It's lemon cream.
Lemon cream. So we'll go into the lemon, and they're light, and oh my God, they're light. They yield. I'm gonna need a moment here. Delicious.
Thank you.
Delicious. Lots of flavor. I'm saving the other one because I know what it is. I know it's going to spoil me for all the others. The other one in the box that has the gold on it, so fancy. It's got gold. Tell me what it is.
It's a sea salted caramel macaron.
You had me at caramel. Okay.
I can't keep these in the house. If these are in the house, I'm in trouble.
I'm wrecked for all others. That is delicious.
Thank you.
The sea salt and the caramel are really, really good together. They're pretty. I do this for you people. I do this for all y'all. I sacrifice, and have to eat this because of you. I say this because it's also a really great idea if you're looking for favors to give people. Yeah. Maybe you don't want to do cake. Maybe you want to give them a macaron or two or the sleeve, right? I mean, that's a great way to go. Or maybe you want to give them a cake pop in your colors, designed just for you, correct?
Yeah.
That's something you do as well?
Yeah.
Or these sweet treats. I mean, that's very more Valentine's, but if you had a Valentine's Day wedding, which we have a lot of, it's a great way to go. So, or the biggest trend that's still around is to do a donut wall. Fresh donuts on a wall with little pegs, and people can just pick a donut or two or three and enjoy. So do you do a lot of those as well?
Donut towers I've done more donut towers recently than donut walls. But I've had a request for 3 donut walls already this summer. So different ways, just donuts seem to be a very popular thing this summer.
So, my one of my buddies, I was in Vegas walking through one of the many displays of Vegasness, and I noticed that in the States, they of course they break donut differently, and it may have been the atmosphere I was in. It could have been the air pressure too. I noticed that it spells Doug H nuts the way they spell donut. So I mean, who doesn't who doesn't want who doesn't want some of that, right? So I have this was made today. I had to cut this in half because I thought if I leave the whole thing on my desk, I'm going to mow down. And donuts are really an important cultural endeavor.
And that one has a brown butter and maple glaze on it.
Oh. Oh boy. Talk amongst yourself. Tell us how you got here. How did this happen? How did you end up taking over the entire house? And
that was it has slowly crept from one cabinet to, I'm going to say 2/3 of the kitchen is now devoted to baking. The counters are now baking paraphernalia. I haven't, it's just been word of mouth, in all honesty. I don't advertise. I haven't been able to get to any of the wedding shows or anything like that, obviously because of COVID. And so it's just been community word of mouth. And obviously I'm very appreciative for that. And yeah, so hopefully someday it'll turn into a brick and mortar and we'll go from there.
Well, I mean, it's pretty damn fabulous. So, you know, think about what you want to leave people with at the end of the night, whether it's, you know, a chocolate covered strawberry, which is, they're always, you know, fantastic and memorable, that sweet treat. So back in the day, the theme was, and I'm probably giving away my age here because I'm the oldest amongst all y'all, is that you would get remember the tin foil wrapped fruit cake that they would send home. It had a little doily on it, and a little ribbon. And no one remembers that but me, I'm sure.
I've seen them though.
Right? And then they said to take it home and put it under your pillow and have sweet dreams. So I think you should just pick that up and keep on going with the whole take this home for sweet dreams, and brides and grooms, couples should send them home with something sweet to cap off their night. So phenomenal. Before I let you guys go, I've been doing a little thing about different pro trip tips. I am a certified wedding planner as well as a certified wedding celebrant, so I like to give out tips. So here we go. Hang on to your hats. So my pro tip for weddings: take it for what it's worth, leave it if you wish. I've given out several over the last few weeks, and we're going to capitalize them and put them all on our website. And at the end of this series, is to basically rely on those professionals that you know. Ask your friends who's out there. Tell them very, very clearly, I want X, Y, Z. Can you do that? And the reason I say that is because as a celebrant, and a different breed of cat when it comes to celebrant, people sometimes want to have something that's a little bit out of the norm. And some celebrants will say, no. You're making a mockery of your wedding. We want it to be, you know, very solemn and very stale. And I say no. I say, you know, as long as your vows are exchanged, you make a promise in front of all of us witnessed today, that works. So, you know, ask around, tell them exactly what you want. If I want flowers on my cake, great. If I want a very, very small bouquet, great. If I only want to register for gifts that are white, okay. But make your intent known. Because you know what? When you got engaged, you made your intent known because you hopefully got down on one knee and said, you know, I want you, and your intent was very clear. So why shouldn't your intent be clear going through your the whole celebration of that wedding? Um, any tips you guys want to toss in? You guys did not see this coming, I'm sure, but because I didn't cue you up for it. Any tips you want to share?
I pretty much agree with what you said. I think it's important to meet people and book who you feel really comfortable with and just trust them, because there's way too much stress around weddings and there doesn't need to be. If you book with people that you feel comfortable with and you let them do their jobs and you just enjoy your day, hopefully.
I agree. You should get to know who your vendors are. And I don't like the word vendors, because really we're a community of wedding pros that are coming together to make your day special. So I agree completely with that. Just let them know what you want, and they'll tell you if they can't do it. It's just that simple. Like if I went into Barrypatch Boutique and said I only want pink things in my gift registry, Mary Lynn might say, well, there's your two things to choose from. Or if I went in and said I want, for my favorite movie, don't judge me, Still Magnolia, if I want an armadillo cake in the carport that's right on the inside, can you do that? And if the answer is no, well, then it's no.
We've done it, right?
So yeah, it's just sort of important to know what you want, and also make a Pinterest board. If you're not really sure, turn to Pinterest, make a board, and share it with your professionals so they can look at what you like and they can better understand who you are, because they only might meet you online for half an hour, or they might meet you in person for maybe 20 minutes and they don't really know. So make a Pinterest board, and Pinterest is your friend, and share it with your professionals. You don't have to make it public, just share it with those that you want to. So I was actually worried about tonight. I thought 3 guests on, I gotta sip of my wine, and I gotta eat some sweets. How am I gonna do it? But you know what? It worked. So hang on while I sign off. Thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it. Folks, if you're looking for some wedding professionals, reach out to these pros, or call me, text me. Don't send me angry emails, because I'll respond angrily. They're here to help. There's some really great professionals around, whether they're looking for a sweet treat, whether they're looking for a gift registry, or whether you're looking for those all-important flowers and decor and accent to glam up your day. These are the pros for you. So hang on there, folks, while I say good night to everyone. And again, if you want to watch this again, or you want to share this with friends, find us on both Facebook and YouTube, and make sure that you like and subscribe. That's the button down below. And we'll have this as our re-engagement, which is on Sunday at 11 o'clock, so that you can watch it again or watch it for the very first time. So meanwhile, we thank you for watching Engagement. We'll see you soon.